like I used to be money motivated almost for the sake of money. Now I'm like money motivated. I'm like, what am I going to do with the money? What
Yeah.
am I actually going to do? Because at some point you have to get really clear on that, because the sacrifice, I mean, it's huge sacrifices. You know what I mean? Like you make just these monumental sacrifices in like some of the most prime years of your life. Like I'm 23, you know what I mean? And like I could scale back to like 30, 40,000 a month and then just like go travel the world. So I have to have like, and that thought, if left enough space and not a good valid alternative motivation, will overtake me, and I will like just end up wanting to do that.
Yeah.
So I have to just be very clear about what it is that I'm using this money for. And I think what it really is just I have this just ideal version of myself that I see at like in my late 20s, early 30s. It's like really solid liquid net worth, well invested, diversified, and just like a very reliable man almost. Like that's what I see in my head is like, because right now I'm like I'm a millionaire on paper, but you know I want to be like a multi-millionaire liquid, you
Yeah.
know. And not only that, I want to do smart things with it. Like I've thought about getting into real estate and maybe just like storing a bunch of the capital there. And
Mhm.
I looked it up, like how much money do I need to make? How much money do I need to have in like rental properties in order to make like $500,000 a year passively? So if I made that money passively every year, it's like that's a solid goal. You know what I mean? So you start to get like really motivated
Yeah.
by these like just like I'm very security driven, and there's something very fundamentally insecure about being like a business owner and in this industry and on and on and on. Like it's not like a this business model is so come and go, you know, and the nature of the industry is very come and go. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, me and Michelle were, my girlfriend, we were just talking about this in bed a couple nights ago. We were actually watching, I don't know if you've seen like Bertie Madoff. They made a whole documentary about him on Netflix.
Mm.
And like if you guys don't know, he ran one of the craziest Ponzi schemes on Wall Street in like history. And it amassed like $60 billion
Craziness.
in like from like the 50s to like 2008, and he wouldn't have even got caught if the 2008 like market crash didn't happen. But like point being, $60 billion was the size of the operation, and he was still just like running it. And Michelle's like, would you like want to get to like that level of like money? And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think with certain, as I'm learning more and more, like there's levels of money to where it's not even the number as much as it is like the lessons and like the aha moments and like what you grab from getting things to that size. That part intrigues me, but not the actual like dollar figure. Like,
Yeah.
I think having an exit of about $10 million before I'm 30 is really driven in my head right now. I think that would be killer. Obviously, there's tax and stuff that gets taken out of that, but that would put me around the net worth ish that I'm looking for around that age, and would kind of bring me the level of security and comfortability to like not do. I'm at the point now where I can still do whatever I want as far as like work and stuff like that goes, but it would truly be out of like I could pay for a house cash, like I could get one cash for multiple houses, because that's probably what I'm leaning towards. And then it's just like, what do I actually want to build that's valuable for the world once I hit that number? And I think that's what brings me to that number.
Yeah, for sure. I think, honestly, the thing that gets me really emotional and like that gets me really driven is just like, I think like, I mean, I make it no secret that I grew up in like a really, like a pretty well-off home. You know, like we were well off, especially for the area we live in. Like Indiana is not like the most high-income area. And my parents brought in multiple six figures a year. Like my dad's a business owner, did really well. And like I think since we went through a house fire where the house fire led to all kinds of other issues, and I always want to really respect my parents and respect my family, like, but by not giving away a bunch of details, but like it just led to all kinds of like financial troubles. Like it really like ripped us thin. And it was for the first time in my life I was like I saw my mom and dad, who otherwise are very stable individuals, being like, okay, what are we gonna do? Like I have 4 siblings, like there was a lot going on there, and it had a lot to do with like my dad just couldn't run the business because it's just so much. Like, you go through a house fire, and then some stuff, came from that. It's almost like the ripple effect of one massive shock wave just throws everything off, and it was very poorly timed for us in a lot of ways. So yeah, and I think ever since then I've just been very motivated just by like security, just like knowing that I'm good and knowing that I'm gonna be okay, And I wonder sometimes, like, if my nervous system has ever unlearned some of those feelings of like, am I good? Are we good? Is everything okay? And that was when I first launched into entrepreneurship, because I just felt like, all right, I need to bring something to the table. Like, I really want to help out, and I want to be here if something ever happens again, and everything. So yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing. I think I didn't necessarily get into business out of desperation. Like, my family needed it, or whatever. It was very much just for me. It was because I wanted to know that I could help if I needed to. And I also just kind of, as a man, felt very useless in that season. I was like seeing my parents and family go through this, and I was just like, there's nothing I can do. And it just really hurt. And it like hurt at a very deep level, that there's nothing that I could do. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to mentor directly underneath me and learn all the strategies that we've implemented into our students' businesses to help over 100 people reach 6 figures a year, 100 to $999,000 a year, and over, I think it's 15 students as of January 2023 to $1 million a year or more, then I want you to go ahead and schedule your completely free consultation with us. There's no pressure to make a decision. We're not going to force your hand. We're just trying to figure out what it is that you need in order to take that next step to either start your online consulting or coaching business in any niche, any industry, or take your existing consulting or coaching business and really scale it to that next level in order to really sustain a business, put a lot of money in the bank very quickly, and serve a lot of people. Okay, so you can use the pinned comment on this video, or if you're listening on our podcast, go to treycockrum.com/schedule-page, and you can check out that page. It's just a simple schedule page. If you fill out a form and we want to know a bit about you, a bit about where you're coming from and what's motivating you to even speak with us, so that we can make sure we give you the best options. And if we notice that you're honestly not in the best place to get started, whether that's financially or time constraints or otherwise, we'll make some other suggestions to you, okay? Our reputation is everything to us, so we're only going to really make offers to people we know for a fact that we can help. And even if we don't make you an offer, it will still be some of the best 45 to 60 minutes you've spent on your business this year, because you're going to get a custom strategy and be told exactly what you should do next, okay? So book your free consultation using the link in the description or on the pinned comment, or if you're listening on our podcast, treycockrum.com/schedule-page. See you there.